You know, after what happened this past week with Valve, I really think that everybody at that company believes they are nothing more than a tiny little indie studio trying to make it big in the gaming industry. And clearly, they couldn't be more wrong. Valve has officially become, in my opinion, one of the biggest top players in video games, whether you want to believe it or not, simply by having a better storefront, putting the customer and their experience with their service at the actual centerpiece of what is the most important, and even then, now providing massive amounts of hardware available for all those people to use. And look, I am a fan of their hardware. I've got an original Steam controller. Yeah, this thing is pretty crazy when you think about it. I've got a Steam Link somewhere, and I also have my own Steam Deck as well. Clearly, I like what they're doing. Now, I don't have their index because I'm not paying $1,000 for a VR headset and everything else like that, because that's incredibly expensive if you ask me. But the thing is, after what we saw on Monday with the new Steam controller, I'm honestly a little bit worried. Not about the pricing of the next pieces of hardware, but about what's going to be happening in the future and how you're going to be able to access what Valve is trying to make. You see, on the 4th, I was actually able to get my hands on an order for the Steam controller. I'm incredibly happy about it. But many of my friends and colleagues were having a very hard time trying to get their order in, their payments being blocked, their servers being shut down, or people just flooding the website. And the worst case of all, scalpers. Yeah, look, I'm really not going to get into that entire side topic right now, but honestly, I gotta say this. Scalpers and anybody who is in fact scalping whatever product they're trying to do right now. We're seeing it with Pokemon cards of all things. We saw it happen with sneakers too, and everything else in between. But the problem is now it looks like we're seeing everybody being impacted by scalping because of what's happening with Steam and their new pieces of hardware. And I'm gonna be honest, if you're somebody who scalps products to sell to other people at 3x the price, you are in fact the problem. You're doing nothing more than profiteering off of other people's FOMO and just trying to go ahead and extort people out of a product that they shouldn't be paying that much money for. I mean, take a look at these eBay listings for the Steam controller right now. $300, $350, over $300, and 3x the price of what it would actually cost you just to literally get your hands on the actual controller that you've wanted. Even though people were complaining about the $100 price tag, there's now Steam controllers for $300+. That makes no sense whatsoever, and it clearly is a big concern for me as well, as somebody who wants to get their hands on the Steam machine. Not because I'm excited about the actual hardware, which in reality I truly am, because I want to see what that thing can do, but also because I think it's incredibly cool to be able to have a somewhat affordable device that you actually have ownership of with your physicality, because we've talked about what's happening in the gaming industry and how you'll be owning nothing and pretending to be happy. And yeah, what happened on the 4th with the Steam controller, like I said, put some concern in me as well, getting my hands on the Steam machine. Clearly, I'm not going to be sitting there and waiting to have $700+ in my Steam account for the wallet to make the process go faster, because that's going to be a really weird charge on my credit card. I'm probably going to get a call for that too. But this really goes to show a couple of things already. Number one, Valve is not the small little company that I think they pretend to be. And number two, there has to be a better way to stop what's been happening with all the scalping and provide the products to the right people who in fact want to purchase those devices. But it looks like Valve might have already taken steps to address this kind of problem. And it happened a few days ago. According to PC Mag, over the past few months, Valve has shipped over 100 tons of hardware from overseas. Yeah, we're not talking about like 10 tons, 25 tons. We're talking 100 tons of hardware. That tells me a couple of things. The Steam controller is more than likely going to be back in stock pretty soon, and also the price and the drop date of the Steam machine may also be in effect as well, and that is a good thing. The bigger amount of product available for users to purchase and buy is a better way of stopping scalpers, because you're flooding the actual market. The higher availability of that product is a good sign overall, and could be a good indicator of what we're going to be seeing when the Steam machine in fact finally drops. But there's more to the article, so let's check it out. with the article saying this: the Steam Machine has been delayed several times due to global memory shortages, but when it does launch, Valve will want lots of stock on hand. Even if the price is high, the Steam Machine is likely to be popular, at least around launch. To that end, perennial Valve watcher Brad Lynch has been posting X updates on Valve shipments and warehousing over the past few weeks, noting that it has received over 90 tons of, quote, game console units from China. The Verge further reports another 45 tons landed between April 30th and May 1st. With Valve claiming the Steam Machine weighs around 5.7 pounds, this latest 45-ton delivery would equate to fewer than 20,000 Steam Machines, especially if you factor in packaging and any accessories like controllers and power cables that shipped from China too. It's also possible that these are merely shipments of Steam Decks designed to shore up Valve's spotty supply, and that we're not quite ready for a Steam Machine release just yet. Indeed, Valve would probably need more of a general release, especially in the US. So we're already seeing massive amounts of movement in terms of packaging, shipping, and even products being brought onto US shores from China, with Valve and their own manifestos landing in our space. Like the article said, it could be a couple of things. If it is all Steam Machines and nothing else, we could be seeing just 20,000 units in those first 45 tons. However, we could also be seeing another 20,000 plus units in the previous 50 tons as well. So we could be seeing right now around 40,000 Steam Machines possibly hitting our shores, getting ready for what's going to be happening with that launch. If it is just 40K units, that's going to be a problem. If it's things like the Steam Deck, that would make more sense as well. But the problem is people are going to be looking at this kind of product, and they're going to be looking to Valve to make sure that the Steam Machine is in fact in stock, because what happened to the Steam controller literally can't happen again. And that is a problem. Because according to Game Rant, the Steam controller sold out in 30 minutes. Scalpers are already flipping for $300 on eBay. Valve says Steam controllers ran out faster than we anticipated. We're working to get more in stock. And look, I know all the Nintendo fanboys were literally seething, malding, and coping, I don't know for what reason, mind you, about the Steam controller, because for some reason, anything that Valve makes, these morons will go around and start freaking the hell out about this company. I guess the Steam Deck really spooked them for the Nintendo Switch 1, mind you. Oof. But watching a controller that people called too expensive, and even someone like myself said would have been far better off at around $70, sell out within half an hour is actually insane. And again, this points back to what I was talking about with the Steam Machine. Even pulling in 100 tons of actual hardware brought in from China, we still had a massive issue with how the controller was in fact sold. People going around and scalping it, putting it on eBay, others using bots to try and get their controllers, or using accounts that literally just had no games on them and just trying to buy them straight out and overall. But at least the good sign about this now is that Valve seems to be figuring out other ways of trying to make sure that you will get access to the hardware that you're actually trying to pay for, and exactly what they're trying to do as well, which is provide actual proper hardware for the consumer in their space. And it looks like Valve might have actually figured out the problem. Insider Gaming says Steam controller reservations open Friday for the next shipment, with the article saying this: Valve has announced when players will again be able to order a Steam controller. The Steam controller launched on May 4th and quickly sold out at every retailer. Following the sellouts, there were a number of sales on eBay, with the devices listed for double, triple, and in some cases, even quadruple the price. Also at this time, Valve promised they were working to get more items in stock, and now they're delivering on that promise. On May 7th, yesterday, they announced that new controllers would be up for reservation on Friday, May 8th. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is exactly why everybody loves Valve, no matter what you think about the gaming industry. It's actually shocking how a company within just 4 days can turn around, get everything fixed, and say, you know what, don't worry, we're going to do a whole new reservation system, fix the problem, and then get everything right this time right now. No issues, no problems, no concerns, no scalpers, and no bullshit. This is exactly what I'm talking about. If only other companies would work this quickly to get this kind of stuff done, it would be a far more beneficial way of actually understanding what companies in fact want from you as a customer and consumer, except just trying to get your money on every single point. Literally, the controller went on sale Monday the 4th. It is now Friday the 8th, and the reservation system is up and running. So what? 4 days in between the launch of the controller, they got more shipments in, they got more product in, and they made a whole new reservation system so that way you could actually buy the product that you want to buy? Tell me what other company does that. Tell me what other video game company will sit there and fix the problem within the same week, mind you, and then be able to tell you, don't worry, we got your back. We got you covered, boss. It's all good. And then hit you with some crazy like 90% off sale exactly on their storefront.
Oh, Alex, all you do is glaze Valve and Steam. You Valve fanboy.
I don't know. Tell me what other company does exactly what Valve does or even better. I'll wait. Oh, you're going to be here a while? It's all good. You carry on then. I'll be here when that happens. But you know what? Let's see exactly how things are going to go for today with you trying to reserve your Steam controller and go directly to Valve's page. Valve on Twitter says this: Steam controller update reservations will be available on Steam beginning tomorrow. Details here. With Valve's own blog post saying this: Steam controller launched on May 4th, and while we were happy to see such a high level of interest, the experience for a lot of you trying to buy it was incredibly frustrating. We plan to continue replenishing stock as we get more in, but in the meantime, wanted to share changes we're making to improve the purchase experience and to limit reseller activity. Beginning May 8th at 10 a.m. Pacific, we're opening a reservation queue for the Steam controller. By the way, for my East Coast boys, that's 1 p.m. Eastern. Get ready for that, by the way. Once you reserve, your place in line will be saved. When we go back in stock, order emails will be sent in the same order that the reservations were made. Here are the details on how we're hoping to improve the experience overall, while also taking steps to limit reseller activity. Reservations will be limited to 1 Steam controller per user. Once you receive an order email, you have 3 days, 72 hours, to make your purchase on Steam. For now, customers who have already purchased a Steam controller are not yet eligible to reserve another Steam controller. Already we are off to an amazing start. Making a reservation queue rather than just going through and trying to buy the product at the Steam store is far better than what we saw previously. Hell, remember when Hollow Knight literally crashed all of Steam? Yeah, I do. That's exactly what they're trying to avoid, and what the Steam machine will more than likely do to their actual storefront as well. Doing this instead actually limits who in fact can buy the Steam controller. I've already got mine. I'm not going to buy a second one to resell it like a scumbag like everybody else would have probably already tried to do as well. And on top of this, giving the user 3 days to make the payment is fantastic because it gives them the opportunity to bring up the money, transfer from bank accounts, and then also put it to the Steam wallet if they want to, which gives a better opportunity for people overseas to get that money as well to make those purchases. These are fantastic changes and will benefit basically everybody. It may take a couple days longer to get your device or your hardware, but the thing is, I'd rather have that than to be stuck trying to fight bots and scalpers, buying everything they possibly can and me not getting anything at all or paying 3x the price. That is a great move by Valve. But there's even more. Additionally, your account must be in good standing on Steam. You must have made a purchase on Steam prior to April 27th, 2026. Replenishment of inventory will vary from region to region. We will start fulfilling reservations next week in the US and Canada, and UK, EU, AU in the following weeks. This is what I'm talking about. This brings me joy. Not because more people get to play with the actual Steam controller and buy the product that they want, but it looks like if this entire thing is a success, then they'll apply this same kind of process to the Steam machine and the Steam frame, giving access to more people being able to buy the product that they actually want at the right price rather than dealing with scalpers. And the thing is, like I said before, I think we're going to be seeing the Steam Machine hit around $700 to $800. And I think that's where things are going to land, honestly. And that's going to be a crazy thing to see, because if you see Steam Machines on eBay for 3x the price at like what, $2,100, $1,400, that would be way too much of a price increase for anybody to afford that device at all. And personally, if it hits that price, don't. Simply just don't do it. You're better off building your own form factor PC and putting SteamOS on there instead than trying to buy the actual Steam Machine if you're crawling into that $1,200 to $1,400 or $2,100 territory. You're going to be spending far more on that device for the logo, because all you're doing is basically just buying a laptop APU from AMD and then a laptop CPU as well, putting them bad boys together in a funny little box, and you're basically done. But I think the better part about this and trying to fight scalpers are the ones that were using brand new Steam accounts. So you have to have a product on your account that's already been purchased since April last month on the 27th, which means anybody who made brand new accounts this past week can't buy the actual Steam controller from the new reservation queue. And I think that's exactly how things have to be as well for the Steam Machine on top of it. Having a limitation of one per user, having an actual reservation queue for an email to then make the actual payment, and then informing the right place and then moving that queue along rather rapidly is exactly what Valve has to do to stop scalpers and then remove the actual aspect of what's been going on and provide the proper Steam controller and Steam Machine at the right price for the user. This has me incredibly excited and happy about what's happening, and honestly, I'm not the only one. Check this out. Here's Fen replying to Valve saying this: "They listened. Reservation queue and one per account. Hooray! People will finally be able to buy one." With Sal de Uvas putting a picture of Gordon Freeman inhaling the Hope Smoke and saying, "My favorite." Here's Jimmy Champagne from Deck Ready saying this: "Steam controller reservations start tomorrow at 10 p.m. Pacific. Hopefully this stops resellers. If you didn't get one, here's your shot." Steam Deck Gaming also said, "This is great news and hopefully the way forward for the Steam Machine and Steam Frame when they come too." Friend of the channel, Paris, also says, "Lesson learned for Valve and puts my mind at ease for getting the Steam controller, machine, and frame. Don't mind waiting for stock to replenish, but it'll be nice to secure the order and not have to fight bots and scalpers." And honestly, I think that's just what everybody actually wants, not to have to sit there and fight bots and scalpers just to get a product. And Paris is correct. A reservation queue is the ideal way to make sure that you're not going around and having those products being sent to other places to be resold and everybody else getting left out in the cold. Having the original launch of the Steam controller being 2 controllers per account literally guaranteed far more scalping. People purchasing a controller for themselves maybe, and then another one to resell to recoup the cost and then make a profit is exactly why all of this happened. And again, if the system actually works out correctly and everything is done right and their scalping is in fact reduced, because let's be honest, there's no way you're going to eliminate all of it, you can at least rest assured that you're going to have a more difficult time trying to go around and scalp a product with having a brand new account, then only having to buy one of them and then sacrificing everything else, unless you've gone back in time, made tons of accounts already, and are buying everything up on your own on a one-shot account. This gives me infinite hope, more hope for the Steam Machine as well, and really puts into perspective what Valve does compared to other companies as well. You can bet your sweet bippy, ooh, it's been a while since I said that one, that if this actually works, the Steam Machine will in fact be far easier to get, and it'll be a better way moving forward. I know, patience is a virtue, and waiting for restocks or reservations is definitely not fun. And watching everybody on Twitter get their Steam controller basically yesterday, while I'm still waiting for mine to get picked up by shipping, mind you, can definitely induce the FOMO. But I will say this: it's better to go through and wait about a week or two more, maybe even a month more for a restock than having to pay 3x the price or 4x the price on a device or a product that you shouldn't be paying that kind of thing for in the first place. I'd rather save my money and be patient than to spend more and fall to a scalper. But again, like I said before, imagine if other companies like Nintendo, PlayStation, or even Xbox did the exact same thing, had that kind of quick turnaround, literally moved in the right direction for providing the customers exactly what they want to get in the first place. You'll never see anybody else do what Valve does right now, a 300-person company literally fixing the entire problem within 72 hours and then telling everybody else, hey, check it out, you're good to go, baby. That's crazy to me. And I'm going to be real about this, right? This news is fantastic. It's actually great. But I'm also saddened by it as well, because when you look at what every other company does to screw their customers and increase shareholder profits, it really goes to show that there's so few companies left in the gaming space that will put you first as a priority, that will put your experience as a priority, instead of putting the actual shareholders and lining their pockets as a priority instead. It's wild to see, man, that one little company of 300 people is literally mogging the entire gaming industry. That's right, I'm an unk who said mog. Deal with it. Ooh, that was cringe. Woof! But as always, I want to hear what you guys got to say about this in the comment section down below. Are you getting your Steam controller now with the reservation system? Did yours already come in the mail, or are you still waiting for your package? I want to hear what you guys got to say. And speaking about what you got to say, here's the comment of the day from yesterday's video. With Poppin2249 saying this, I hope Valve stays privately owned. Fuck the stock market. You know what, Poppin? I'm also terrified of what happens when Gabe is no longer running Valve. But hopefully things stay on the right course, and as long as the customer is placed first, nothing will change. The moment they go public, though, that's when things get really scary. And we've seen that happen basically over and over. But as always, if you want to see more of this kind of content though, more PC port reviews, gaming news, Steam Deck videos, fanboy content, and even live streams, subscribe to the channel. If you want Discord access or emotes for those live streams, become a YouTube member. It's as low as $1. Look, if you don't want to spend the buck, don't even sweat it. Just come on down to the stream Saturday nights, 8:45 p.m. Eastern, right here on the channel as I wear a banana suit and get insulted with text-to-speech. It's actually insane. And very close to Sábado Gigante. If you're Latino, you know what I'm talking about. Don Francisco, baby! Trust me, you're going to love it. 8:45 p.m. Eastern, live, right here on the channel. Oh, and if you want even more of me, check out Oh No It's Alex Gaming. Link to that channel is in the description down below. Videos go up every single Monday, usually more about like games themselves or whatever's happening in the gaming industry. And to make it even better, I'm adding some more live streams there as well. Just testing some stuff out right now about good timing and things like that. I want to make sure the European boys get to watch the stream and not just the VOD and get to interact live. So maybe during the day, I'm not entirely sure. I haven't really figured that out yet, but just check it out, subscribe if you haven't already, and check out the new content as well. Trust me, there's more coming for you guys too. With all that being said though, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you have a great one, and I'll see you gooners next time. Peace!